Howdy, folks. From Lake Superior, Big Top Chautauqua at the top of Wisconsin, welcome to another episode of Tent Show Radio.
I can't believe another year's gone around. Is that a big top I see there high above the ground? Ballyhoo. Oh, ballyhoo.
Support for Tent Show Radio is provided by Travel Wisconsin. There's a million ways to have fun in Wisconsin and no reason not to. Visit travelwisconsin.com and plan your trip today. And now, here's your host of Tent Show Radio, best-selling author, humorist, singer-songwriter, and intermittent pig farmer, Michael Perry.
Howdy, folks, and welcome to Tent Show Radio from Big Top Chautauqua. Tonight, we showcase the folks who bring you our house shows, the Lake Superior Big Top Chautauqua's own Blue Canvas Orchestra, as they present a rousing recollection of sea shanties, sailing songs, and rowdy sailors and port songs passed down through the maritime ages, including some that were launched from the very shores upon which this tent stands. At intermission, I'll tell you why, just as chickens got popular again, we gave away our chicken coop. Folks, the music you're about to hear emanates from a special space in a special place. It's the Big Top Chautauqua, an actual giant canvas tent pitched atop a green hill overlooking beautiful Bayfield, Wisconsin, and dotting Lake Superior in the far blue distance, those all-natural jewels called the Apostle Islands. Life is slow up here, so you want to get here as fast as you can. Imagine you're here right now, in a canvas tent pitched in the theater of your mind, and if you enjoy what you hear over the course of the next hour, and want to see and experience it firsthand when next we can, please get to know us at www.bigtop.org. It sounds beautiful up here because it is beautiful up here. You ought to come on up. Ladies and gentlemen, if, like me, you are prone to think of Wisconsin as cows, cheese, and more cheese, you would be overlooking the fact that Wisconsin is also home to 820 miles of coastline. Even as a lifelong Badger State resident, I sometimes forget my home state is a maritime state. In my defense, I grew up milking cows in the pine trees. Not so the members of the Blue Canvas Orchestra, who, when they report to work in this tent, drive along that coastline a pebble toss from the waters of Lake Superior. And if they step outside this tent, can see watercraft plying the greatest of Great Lakes and feel the whitecap wind that has filled so many sails. It is in this lake and seafaring spirit tonight that they present selections of songs from the original Lake Superior Big Top Chautauqua house show, Shanties and Shipwrecks. What you hear tonight, in story and song, will be the tales of those who roamed the seas aboard vessels of wood with canvas sails, and those who never returned from the salty seas of history, and in some cases, from freshwater voyages taken within view of this very hill. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the soul and spirit of this tent, the Blue Canvas Orchestra.
thanks very much, everybody, for coming. I'm glad to see you're all out on such a wild, windy and windswept night. We're going to take you on a journey of adventure, death, and destruction. Enjoy the trip.
A capital ship for an ocean trip was a walloping window blind. No wind that blew dismayed her crew, nor troubled the captain's mind. The man at the wheel was made to feel content for the wildest blow. Though it oft appeared when the weather had cleared, he'd been in bunk below. So blow ye winds high-ho, a-roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'm off on the morning train, across the bounding main. I'm off to my love with a boxing glove, 10,000 miles away. The boatswain's mate was very sedate, yet fond of amusement too. He played hopscotch on the starboard watch while the captain tickled the crew. The gunner we had was apparently mad, and he sat on the after rail. And he fired salutes with the captain's boots in the teeth of a booming gale. So blow ye winds high-ho, a-roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'm off on the morning train, across the bounding main. I'm off to my love with a boxing glove, 10,000 miles away. The captain sat on the Commodore's hat and dined in a royal way of roasted pigs and pickles and figs and gummery bread each day. The cook, he was Dutch and behaved as such, and the diet he gave the crew was a couple of tons of hot croissants served up with sugar and glue. Oh, blow ye winds high-ho, a-roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'm off on the morning train, across the bounding main. I'm off to my love with a boxing glove, 10,000 miles away. And we all fell ill as mariners will, on a diet that's cheap and rude. And we shivered and shook as we dipped the cook in a tub of his gruesome food. Then nautical pride we laid aside as we cast the vessel ashore. On the Gulliby Isles where the poo-poo smiles and the Alexanders roar. Oh, blow ye winds high-ho, a-roving I will go. I'll stay no more on England's shore, so let the music play. I'm off on the morning train, across the bounding main. I'm off to my love with a boxing glove, 10,000 miles away.
King sits in Dunfermline town, drinking the blood-red wine. Oh, where can I get a skeely skipper to sail this ship of mine? Then up spake an elder knight, sat at the king's right knee. Sir Patrick Spens is the finest sailor who ever sailed the sea. The king has written a broad letter and sealed it with his hand and sent it to Sir Patrick Spens a-walking on the strand. To Norway, to Norway, to Norway o'er the foam. The king's daughter of Norway, 'tis thou must bring her home. Who has done this deed and told the king of me to set us out on a time like this to sail upon the sea? Be it wind, be it wet, be it hail, be it sleet, our ship must sail the foam. The king's daughter of Norway, 'tis we must fetch her home. Make ready, my merry men, all our good ship sails the morn. Now ever alack, my master dear, I fear a deadly storm. I saw the new moon late yestreen with the old moon in her arm. And if we go to sea, master, I fear we'll come to harm.
And now we are ready to sail for the Horn.
Way, hey, roll and go. Our boots and our clothes, boys, are all in the pond to be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a polo, heave away. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored to be rollicking randy dandy, oh.
Soon we'll be warping her down through the docks.
Way, hey, roll and go, where the pretty young girls all come down in their frocks to be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a polo, heave away, way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored to be rollicking randy dandy, oh.
Come breast to the bars, bully, heave her away.
Way, hey, roll and go. Soon we'll be rolling her down through the bay to be rollicking randy dandy, oh. Heave a polo, heave away. Way, hey, roll and go. The anchor's on board and the cable's all stored to be rollicking randy dandy, oh.
They had not sailed a league, but barely 3. The lift grew dark and the wind blew loud and gurly grew the sea. The anchors break and the topmast lap. It was such a deadly storm. The waves came o'er the side of the ship and all her sides were torn. The ladies wrung their fingers white. The maidens tore their hair, all for the sake of their true loves. For them they'll see na mer. Oh, lang, lang, may the maidens sit with their gold combs in their hair, thinking about their own true loves. For them they'll see na mer.
Humans have been plying the waters of the Great Lake for thousands of years. Since white men arrived in the 17th century, at least 6,000 ships and 30,000 lives have been lost in these mercurial waters. At Whitefish Point alone in Lake Superior, there are some 240 ships resting at the bottom. The lake doesn't easily give up her secrets. And this next song is about one of those secrets.
I was in Bayfield the night she left on that last fateful trip. I was aboard the Manistee for about an hour, visiting with the crew as I was acquainted with nearly all of them. I was on the dock when McKay gave a blast of the whistle to let go the lines, and I can see her now backing out from the shelter of that dock into that fearful storm. The Manistee was no fit boat to be out on Lake Superior in a storm like that, loaded to the guards as she was. The passenger's cabin was filled with furniture, making her top heavy. I never saw McCain again. The Manistee went to the bottom of Lake Superior with every soul aboard.
She left the docks of Old Duluth, loaded to the guards, with mill goods, furniture, merchandise, and passengers, bound for Ontonagon. One day down the lake, a heavy gale northwest rolled. With her wooden nose leeward, she ran for the Apostles. Not just any port in a great lake storm will do. She wove her way through those brownstone islands, made the bay by Sunday noon. You won't see the Majesty in the dawn like tomorrow. She'll be tilting on the bottom with her crew and cargo. All her ports of call will be draped in sorrow. She'll sail over the rails of her wide blue world. All the South Shore towns love propeller man of steam. First in four to break up, in fall the last to leave. She'd lay an extra hour if there was any chance to tune up with good whiskey, let her string band play a dance. 5 days she lay in the Bayfield Harbor, Captain John McKay pacing up and down the dock. You may have to be a sailor to really understand what's blowing in a captain who's been too long on land. No, you won't see the Majesty in the dawn like tomorrow. She'll be tilting on the bottom with her crew and cargo. All her ports of call will be draped in sorrow. She'll sail on the rails of her wide blue world. Thursday night, the winds let up a little but enough. Said John McKay, we're backing out. It's still a little rough, but I know this lake, the weather's breaking, heave, let go the lines. 70 miles to Ontonagon, work 4 full days behind. I still hear the whistle blast and the lake slapping shore. I see the captain's shadow in the pilot house and the 19 crew aboard. 4 passengers that walked the plank, 3 that wouldn't go. They were never seen again above when missing down below. You won't see the Majesty in the dawn like tomorrow. She'll be tilting on the bottom with her crew and cargo. All her ports of call will be draped in sorrow. She'll sail over the rails of her wide blue world. Some say her boiler's blue. She was adrift in roiling seas. Some think she listed taken lake and over her port beam. Did she clear the islands? Did she break up on a shoal? The truth we'll never abandon ship. The truth we'll never know. For months the wreckage washed ashore. Her pieces found afloat. From Isle Royal to the Key Winnaw, from the North Shore to Houlton. The wheel was fished from Union Bay, the mast from Island Sands. Flower and doors, whiskey and oars, but never a trace of man. No, you won't see the Majesty in the dawn like tomorrow. She'll be tilting on the bottom with her crew and cargo. All the ports of call will be draped in sorrow. She'll sail on the rails of her wide blue world. No, you won't see the Majesty in the dawn like tomorrow. She'll be tilting on the bottom with her crew and cargo. All her ports of call will be draped in sorrow. She'll sail on the rails of her wide blue world. She'll sail on the rails of her wide blue world.
Well, in the mid-1800s, the quest for finding the holy grail of exploration, the Northwest Passage, was just one of the most important things anybody in Europe could think about. They knew that if they could just sail over the top of the world, that they, instead of going around Cape Horn, they could save 4 months and thousands of miles on the journey and a lot of money at the same time. So there was an expedition that was sent forth from the British Admiralty. They weren't in a war at the time, captained by Sir John Franklin.
'Twas homeward bound one night on the deep. Swinging in my hammock, I fell asleep. I dreamed a dream that I thought was true, concerning Franklin and his gallant crew. With 100 seamen he sailed away to the frozen ocean in the month of May to seek a passage around the pole where all poor sailors might sometimes go. Through cruel hardships they mainly strove, the ships on mountains of ice was drove. Only the Eskimo in his skin canoe was the only one who e'er came through. In Baffin Bay where the whalefish blow, the fate of my Franklin no man may know. The fate of Franklin no tongue can tell. My Lord Franklin among his seamen do dwell. Now my burden, it gives me pain. For my Lord Franklin I'd sail the main. 10,000 pounds would I freely give to say on earth my Franklin do live.
All right, Ronnie, let's go.
Oh, the year was 1778. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. A letter of marque come from the king to the scummiest vessel I had ever seen. Damn them all. Oh, Elsit Barrett cried the town. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. For 20 brave men, all fishermen, who would make for him the Antelope's crew. Damn them all. The Antelope sloop was a sickening sight. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She'd a list to the port and her sails in rags, and the cook in scuppers, staggers and the jags. Damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. No, I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. On the king's birthday we put to sea. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. We were 91 days to Montego Bay, pumping like madmen all the way. Damn them all. On the 96th day we sailed again. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. When a bloody great Yankee hove in sight, with a crack 4-pounders we made to fight. Damn them all. The Yankee lay low down with the gold. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. She was broad and fat and loose in the States, but to catch it took the Antelope 2 whole days. Damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. Now I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Then at length we stood 2 cables away. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Our crack 4-pounders made an awful din. One fat ball the Yanks stove us in. Damn them all. The Antelope shook and pitched on her side. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. Barrett was smashed like a bowl of eggs, and the main trunk carried off both me legs. Damn them all. So here I lay in my 23rd year. I wish I was in Sherbrooke now. It's been 6 years since we sailed away, and I just made Halifax yesterday. Damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. No, I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers. Damn them all. I was told we'd cruise the seas for American gold. We'd fire no guns, shed no tears. No, I'm a broken man on a Halifax pier, the last of Barrett's privateers.
Yeah, Philip. You are listening to Tent Show Radio.
Welcome to Intermission, folks. Due to current events, the chickens are on the upswing. One of the signs being yesterday our neighbor came and towed away our old coop. It's been sitting out back ever since we switched to a newer, bigger coop on wheels. I've been meaning to fix up the old coop and use it for housing chicks or maybe broody hens. But if you could see one end of the list of things I've been meaning to do, you couldn't see the other end. The new owner will at a minimum have to replace the rotted roof and patch woodchuck holes in the floor, but as they say in real estate, that old coop has good bones and he has a hammer. It was good to see it roll out of here. It served us well for many years. It housed our very first flock of hens and many more after that. Appeared on the cover of my book, Coop, when it came out in hardback. Despite that, and despite its being surrounded by chickens in the hardback photo, during the very first radio interview of Book Tour, the host congratulated me on the release of my new book, Co-op. And based on the fat chalk princess graffiti still in evidence, also served as a playhouse for our younger daughter. In previous times, I might have been maudlin about letting the coop go because I'm wired to be sentimental over everything from corsages to crowbars. But lately I find myself trending minimalist. Rather than pine for the past, I texted my buddy Mills, who helped me build the coop. Had I built it myself, it would be a pile of mismatched boards having either A, never been actually completed. Down in my barn, there is a single stud wall representing a treehouse I began building for my elder daughter when she was in grade school. She is now collegiate. or B, having already fallen apart. Pretty much everything I've ever built has a self-destruction shelf date predicated on an overconfidence in drywall screws. So rather than retain it, I texted Mills and let him know the coop was finding a second life, and then I scrolled through a photo album from back when we built it together. All three of us are smiling at the camera with a happy goofiness that easily outlived the tar paper roof that lies in wind-ripped strips behind the granary, even as my heart warms to the image of the currently collegiate daughter as a knobby-kneed stripling two-handing a hammer. How often I fail to notice what joy comes from doing things as opposed to achieving things. The neighbors who adopted the coop are relatively new to the block. They're a young couple with young children. The husband and I have been shooting the breeze now and then, doing the lean and spit dance of getting to know each other without prying. More than once, he and his wife have included us in their rounds when they drop off homemade food up and down our country road. Whether it winds up kindling or a cackle castle, I'm glad they got that coop. The world could use a few more good eggs. The world could also use a few more good tunes and tales. To that end, we are in luck, as the Blue Canvas Orchestra is once again docking at the Lake Superior Big Top Chautauqua stage. Fill your sails, folks.
Last October in a pouring driving rain. Discovered he'd been drinking and he made he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was dealt her mortal blow, and the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. There was just us 5 aboard her when we finally was awash. We'd work like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she made as she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter would rise again. While the owners rode her off, while the owners rode her off, not a nickel would they spend. She'd get 20 years of service, boys, and better sorry end. But insurance paid the loss, so also let her rest below. And they laughed at us, said we had to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock. She's worth $250,000, afloat and at the dock. And with every jar they hit the bar, we swore we would remain. Make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. All spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day and a heart that's who's in twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we patched her rents, stopped her vents, a dark hatch and portal down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain. Watch the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Rise again, rise again. Let her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. All those who loved her best and were with her till the end will make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. We couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our lives so many times, living through the gale. And the laughing drunken rats who left it to a sorry grave, well, they won't be laughing in another day. And you to whom adversity has dealt a final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, like the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again, rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken and life about to end, no matter what you lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again, rise again, rise again. Though your heart it be broken and life about to end, no matter what you lost, be it a home, a love, a friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter. Rise again.
Out in the moonlight, the month of May, the ship would take her last breath. Her full mast, it was draping. Like a mermaid she was dressed. Lonely heart, setting free all her cares. They went sailing out to sea. All the people gathered round, flocked to view this lovely sight. All the maidens, they came to town, waved her out into the night. Lonely heart, setting free all her cares. They went sailing out to sea. Hear her calling. The rocks with swelling sails, the ocean beat her every time. With a crack, her body failed. The sea engulfed and filled her eyes. Lonely heart, setting free all our prayers. They went sailing out to sea. Hear her calling. Returned to the town. Every maid sat on the pier. Lovers lost, fathers never found. Now that mermaid's dressed in tears. Lonely heart, set us free. All our prayers, they went sailing out to sea. Hear her calling. To to me. Come on, Tom. Gotta join you. Like the mermaids dressed in tears. Seems like the mermaids dressed in tears. Feels like the mermaids dressed in tears. Hear her calling. Hear her calling. Hear her calling. Hear her calling.
seaport town. I'd set my foot in a steamboat and sail the ocean round. I'm sailing on the ocean, sailing around the sea. I dream of handsome Molly wherever she may be. Sailing out the sea. I dream of handsome Molly wherever she might be. Sailing around the sea. I dream of handsome Molly wherever she might be. Sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea. I dream of handsome Molly wherever she might be. And I'm sailing around the ocean, sailing around the sea. I dream of handsome Molly wherever she might be.
Think they want one more? You want one more? All right. All right. So we were thinking about what we were going to do, and we thought about what was going on way south of here, the Bahamas. Or I heard Alabama might be something about it, but maybe not. But we thought we would do is we would do this song and dedicate it to the people in the Bahamas that have kind of suffered a wee bit over the last few days.
We come on the sloop John B., my grandfather and me, around Nassau town we did roam. Drank it all night, got into a fight captain's drunk. The constable had to come and take him away. Sheriff John Stone, why don't you leave me alone?
Here we go.
When I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. So hoist up the John B. sails, see how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore, let me go home. Let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Why don't you let me go home? When I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Poor cook, he caught the fits and threw away all my grits. And then he took and he ate up all of my corn. Let me go home. Let me go home. Let me go home. Why don't you let me go home? This is the worst trip I've ever been on. So hoist up the John B. sails, see how the mainsail sets. Call for the captain ashore, let me go home. Let me go home. Let me go home. I wanna go home. I wanna go home. Why don't you let me go home? When I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. When I feel so broke up, I wanna go home. I wanna go home.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
The Blue Canvas Orchestra, ladies and gentlemen. They put the wind in our sails.
Support for Tent Show Radio is provided by Travel Wisconsin. There's a million ways to have fun in Wisconsin and no reason not to. Visit travelwisconsin.com and plan your trip today. And we're brought to you by the Bayfield Chamber of Commerce. Beautiful Bayfield and the Apostle Islands. You can tour sea caves and shop our galleries and stores on the shores of Lake Superior. Information and lodging at bayfield.org. And we're brought to you by the Bayfield Inn, located on the shoreline of Lake Superior in downtown Bayfield. Stay, dine, and relax with the Bayfield Inn year-round. With 21 hotel rooms, over 25 vacation rentals, a lounge, on-site restaurant, and rooftop bar. There's something for you at the Bayfield Inn. Any traveler, any season, any meal. Information at thebayfieldinn.com or facebook.com/bayfieldinn.
Well, folks, that's our show for tonight. Whether you beam it or stream it, we thank you for listening. We're as grateful as a guy who's on his second chicken coop. We'd love it if you come on up Bayfield Way or down or over or through for a show one day. Details always available at bigtop.org. You can visit me anytime at sneezingcow.com. Until next we share the air, remember, where I come from and here at Tent Show Radio, nobody ever says goodbye. They just say, well, I suppose.